Hey everyone, Conky Reviews here for my second review of the manga Kingdom by Yasuhisa Hara. Now, for anyone new, the first half of my reviews are going to be going through a decent sized summary of the chapter and talking about aspects that I like about it and kind of just talking about it, and eventually giving my opinion about the chapter as a whole and rating it out of like a 1 out of 10. In the second half, we'll delve into potential spoilers as we delve into like a discussion of sorts of the chapter, and we'll be possibly talking about stuff, connecting stuff to the future, current chapters, and the present day and stuff, Very spoiler heavy stuff. So please don't spoil it if you have not read it. Please stop watching after the first half. For everyone else, feel free to watch the entire thing. Or, if you don't care, just keep watching. Doesn't matter to me, I guess. So, we start off at the beginning of the chapter where we left off at the end of chapter 1, where Shin is yelling out Hyo's name and is in complete and utter pain. I really, really loved the art here. It's absolutely perfect and conveys the pain that he's feeling. And honestly, the art for showing pain and stuff like that, and happiness, sadness, anger, it just keeps getting better and better as the story goes on. I love it. So then we get this cute chapter, the what's it called? The cover art for the chapter, or the chapter reveal, I guess. I don't even know what it's actually called. But it shows a little baby Shin and Hyo holding swords. Okay, so anyways. So then we see Shin smash his arm through an entire wall of that shack and falls down. And honestly, it's kind of ridiculous that he busted through an entire rock wall already. Is he only like 14? It's kind of ridiculous. But he's yelling that he's going to kill anybody who hurt Hyo, and he's just completely in disbelief that anyone would even want to hurt Hyo in the first place. And then that little kid, the mayor's son, I don't think it ever actually says his name until the most recent chapter. He backhand punches Shin right in the face and snaps him out of his stupor, his rage, and he's like, "Man, you can't let Hyo's death be for nothing. You need to take this map and you need to go. You gotta go. He did not die just so you could sit here and cry and try to get revenge for him." I really liked this moment because it really shows just how much the family cared for Hyo, even if they didn't really like Shin, who we love, but even if they didn't really like him, they did care for Hyo, and even though they don't like Shin, they don't want someone that Hyo loved to just waste his life away. So then we see Shin run off towards the river, or he goes running alongside the river, I guess, and it does a little flashback, and it shows the village mayor talking about the point on the map and how it's a bandit village, and it's just it's not safe, obviously, for someone to go to, especially at nighttime. And then Shin grabs Hyo's, and might I add, beautiful sword, and hugs Hyo's body one last time and sets off on his new journey. And then it flashes back to Shin running, and we see it shows a little person in a little bird costume, a little round bird. It's like, okay, that's interesting. Wonder who this is. And so then Shin comes across some bandits who, they're absolutely ridiculous looking, especially the main dude that's talking. He legitimately looks hideous, which I guess is what most manga and stuff do for villains who aren't meaningful. They try to make him as dislikable as possible. And then they mentioned that bird person in the bird outfit, that their name is 10. So then they start making demands and try to get his sword and anything he has, and he just completely obliterates them. I mean, it isn't even a challenge. He blasts through them instantly, and it shows one of the guys afterwards, and his teeth are completely shattered, and they're like yelling to wake up everybody in the village. And so then it cuts back to Johto Village, the village where Shin came from. And a man suddenly appears at the mayor's house, and he looks crazy. Like, he looks super menacing. I actually really like how they did this villain, which obviously he's the assassin who was attacking Hyo and has been tracking him and finally caught up to him, which he's pretty late, honestly. He was slacking, if I'm being for real. But the mayor, he tries to keep up the act and pretend that Hyo was just some random dude who showed up at their door. And the assassin starts trying to behead Hyo, which is absolutely insane. But, I mean, it worked. It worked for what he was trying to do. Because the mayor's son yells for him to stop, and the assassin comes over, and he realizes that Hyo's sword is gone. Which means that somebody took it, obviously. So he walks over to the dad, punches him in the face. I don't think he does anything to the mom, or if that even is a mom. I don't even know. She never says anything. I don't think so, anyways. But then he stabs the kid in his leg, man. Looks ridiculously painful, dude. I feel so bad for him when I first read that. It was just like, oh my god, the violence is crazy. But so then they end up telling I'm pretty sure that they end up telling the assassin where Shin went, because I mean, they aren't just gonna get killed by this guy, you know. They still have a life that they want to live, you know. So then it cuts back to Shin fighting man after man, and I think he might even be deflecting blow darts from 10. I can't tell. From the art, I can't really see any blow darts being deflected, but 10 obviously shoots some towards him. Or maybe 10, like, shot them at the villains or the bandits. I'm not really sure what 10 was doing. I mean, maybe they just missed. I don't know, but... So... And, I mean, Shin's just taking people out, like... person after person. He's just slamming people, knocking them out, slashing them. It don't matter. Like, this village doesn't stand a single chance against him when he's on his mission, dude. So after talking about his sword, it flashes back to whenever Shin was first adopted by the mayor, and Hyo is gonna be the one to teach him what a servant does, you know. And so they instantly, like, they instantly become friends. And, I mean, almost immediately they start talking about becoming great generals, which is honestly insane. Because at this point, they're only, like, 4 or 5, maybe. I think, like, 4. Maybe 3, 4, 5, something like that. But... yeah, so seeing them young, though, it's super adorable, because they're just so young, and Shin has his little tiny rat tail. So, okay, then it returns to the present day, where he's slaying everybody, nobody's coming after him anymore, and he realizes that, like, he's almost at the point. So, he finally makes it there, and... he starts looking around, and he sees a shack. This little tiny shack just placed in the middle of nowhere. And so he starts kind of having some inner monologue about, like, what's going to be in here, you know? What could Hyo have been looking for? Like, and then, so he finally goes inside, and he sees this guy kneeling on the ground reading something. And the guy looks at him. And this guy legitimately looks exactly like Hyo. But yeah, so, I mean, is Hyo alive? What do you guys think? I mean, I can't say anything else on this half of the review. So if you guys have enjoyed so far, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you care about spoilers, please exit the video and have an amazing day. Please. And for those who want a spoiler discussion, let's go. Alright, guys. You know what it is. Let's get this spoiler discussion going. So, this whole chapter, it's just really, it like embodies one of those moments in Kingdom where Shin just seemingly becomes possessed by this ridiculously unstoppable force and is able to complete whatever he wants to do. It obviously doesn't happen every time he wants to do something, but when it does, it is absolutely amazingly done. And obviously this might be the most like average showing of it, I would say. I mean, obviously he's only like 14 years old, but still, I mean, he has way like more insane moments in the future. But it is pretty insane that he's like taken out like 20, 30 people just on his own. Grown men, obvious, mind you. Just complete grown men, and he's like 14, so ridiculous. Seeing how strong he is when he breaks a brick, or not a brick wall, but I'm assuming it's probably some type of hardened mud, maybe. It might be some type of rock, but I mean, he just shatters it. He punches his fist completely through it and falls to the ground. It's pretty ridiculous, but I love it. I love how strong Shin is and how strong he becomes. It's so freaking cool to see all of his feats later on. Okay, so when earlier when I mentioned the son, his name got revealed earlier, or I mean, in 767 actually, chapter 767. Him and the or I don't think that the mayor got his name revealed in that chapter. I think his got revealed in the anime, I'm pretty sure. But so yeah, that kid's name is Yu. I think it's Lee Yu, and his dad is Lee Dian, which is pretty interesting because Hyo and Shen later on choose Ri as their name. But I've seen the real name for Ri Shen was Li Shen. So I don't know if that's supposed to be like a reveal that they have the same name, you know, they grew up together, but oh well. But so in 767 it was revealed that because of that hole that got stabbed into his leg, he was never able to join the army. And specifically, he wanted to join what later becomes the High Shin unit and fight alongside Shen, which it's just so sad to see that. Especially reading it through now after that chapter just happened like a couple weeks ago. It's just so sad because it would have been really cool to see Li Yu join the High Shin unit, even if he wasn't some ridiculously strong person. It's just cool to see old people show up again, you know. But yeah, that kid Yu, I mean, the fact that he had the balls to stand up to that assassin when I think he's younger than Shin and Hyo. He might even still be like single digits in age. I don't know. I don't think it ever says his age. But yeah. Speaking of that assassin, I don't know how many of you guys have read Berserk, but that assassin looks exactly like Wild from Berserk. And Wild is a horrifying person from Berserk. Anyone who has read Berserk is gonna, if you didn't know that he looked like Wild or didn't like connect it, you're definitely gonna connect it now because they look basically the exact same. Just this guy isn't nearly as big as Wild, which it makes the guy, I mean, that much more insanely scary looking for me, just because of how I know who Wild is. But yeah, so. And that guy, that assassin, he also reveals the king's name, Ace, which I don't think everybody's gonna connect that, but or even connect that it's the king, I guess. But yeah, like it's kind of I didn't notice that the first time reading it that he says Ace's name when he was interrogating them. Pretty interesting. Also, seeing Kario 10 in her little round bird costume, it's just amazing. I miss seeing her in that costume with the hood up, with the like bird mask on, because she never puts it on anymore like that. And in the future, it's more like form fitting, I guess. It's not as round as it used to be. So it's kind of more like just a regular set of clothes now. Even if it is still the bird outfit that she wears. But seeing her in this again, it's great. So we'll get a while more of that. And the last thing I wanted to mention is when we enter that flashback and it shows little Shin and little Hyo when they first, or whenever Shin first gets adopted. It's crazy to see how determined Hyo is. It's seeming like he is the engine that is taking him and Shin into the future, driving their will, you know? Like, he is the fire that burns within both of them. And that's shown even after his death, that he like starts a fire inside of Shin that, I mean, as we will come to understand, and as Shin comes to understand through the story, that fire is going to envelop all of China eventually. And we're going to witness Shin becoming a great general, you know? I mean, I can't wait. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and come back for more in the future. Have a great evening or day.